Hello, welcome back to Geometry Dash. So, I really want to keep improving at this game and continue beating hard levels. The problem is that I am doing a pretty demanding course in college, and because of this I simply cannot consistently play the game. This of course makes practicing hard levels near impossible, as I cannot build consistency in my muscle memory and click patterns. I pretty much have to reset all my progress each time. So I started searching for a level that would still pose a massive challenge, but also a level that I wouldn't have to build crazy consistency in. And that's when I stumbled on this nice circle level called Crimson Clutter by RedUniverse. This is a level that has always stood out to me, well, because for a lack of a better term, I always thought this level had this crazy aura around it. And since my best game mode is the wave, I figured that this could be the level I was searching for. And so I jumped right into it. The first thing I did was a quick practice run of the level, as I always do, and I will actually take this time to roughly run you through the level. The pre-drop is very short and quite simple. The level truly begins once you reach the wave. The wave structure is identical to the original 9 circles level by Zobros, in the sense that you have a normal wave section split halfway through with a gravity change, and finished off with a dual section, and then repeating this pattern with the mini wave. The only difference is that in Crimson Clutter we have the inclusion of mirror portals, which flip the direction in which you are going, which is something that doesn't appear often in 9 circles levels. The beginning of the wave is really tricky as it includes a lot of very tight gaps as well as some microclicks inside of the wave corridors. The upside down section has a good mix of both fast maneuvering of the wave as well as fitting into tight gaps. This is where we get to the mirror portal transition, which can be a bit tricky since it's hard to tell where exactly you are. However, once we get past this, we get to a part I called the triple click of doom, as it requires you to do 3 precise and very quick microclicks to fit into the gaps, followed by some really tough wave control. This is what I consider to be the hardest part of the level. After this part we get to the duel, which is pretty easy, so it gives us a bit of a break. However, then we get to the mini-wave part, which begins with a massive choke point, where we have to fit into this extremely tight corridor. After this, the mini-wave features a mix of long, accurate clicks along with some spam control. After which we get another mirror portal transition, and some more long corridors. After finishing the wave part with a duel, we reach the ship section, which looks a lot scarier than it actually is. And that's the level. After finishing the practice run, I hopped right into Acropolis. I tend to practice levels backwards, meaning I start off by learning the last part of the level and then progressively moving my starting point backwards, to build better consistency for the later parts of the level. I quickly realized that the last ship part is not so bad, as a lot of it is just holding the button and hitting the orbs, with some ship controls sprinkled throughout. However, I quickly realized that learning level backwards would be really difficult because there are not many good starting locations to begin my new runs from. So I opted for practicing the entirety of the mini-wave section first. However, the issue was the mirror portal, as playing the gameplay mirrored makes a huge difference. Thankfully, I found out that you can set the start position to begin in mirrored mode, so I was good to go. And it doesn't work. Thanks, Top. Instead, I decided to go practice the first ship at the beginning of the level, which was really easy, so not much to say there. Then I decided to test a method of practicing 9 circles levels that I thought of quite a while back. I created a new copy of the level, deleted all of the flashy effects, and made all of the hidden passages transparent. The idea being that I would use this version of the level to learn the layout of the wave corridors and all of the fakes without any visual obstructions. I wasn't sure if this was a good method of practicing, but it was worth a shot. There was this little fake corridor which I found to be quite inconsistent, as it is pretty tight for a triple speed spam section. Thankfully I found a better way of doing it than just spamming, which was by getting as high and close to it as possible, and then doing a single click inside the block, which is a pretty tight timing, but it was much more consistent than spamming through it. Eventually I got quite a few attempts getting to the triple click of doom. That's when I decided to go back to the original version of the level to see if my training method actually helped or not. I can't lie, it took a while to readjust to the flashy effects as well as the overall darkness of the level, but eventually I started getting really good attempts, matching my performance from the cleaner version of the level. So all in all, I'd say that my training method was a success. I then decided to go back to the mini-wave section, in which I just added a mirror portal myself, while also making some adjustments to make the transition into each attempt work. The mini-wave is more about precision rather than crazy click patterns, so overall it was quite a lot easier to do than the first half of the level. The biggest choke point here is definitely the very first click, as it is extremely tight. I'm pretty sure this exact click is also a choke point in Sonic Wave. And after almost 200 attempts, I actually managed to get a run from 50 to 100%. Yes! Let's go! 50 to 100! A few days later, I decided to start practicing the hardest part of the level, that being the triple click of doom. I was going back and forth between the original level and my clean version to do this. After some time I started to get through the triple click, however the fast wave control right after this wasn't any easier. Eventually I managed to get through the part, and once that happened I kept practicing to build up my consistency, while also practicing the transition into the mini wave. Over the next few weeks I just practiced the level anytime I could, trying to build up and upkeep my consistency. But then I got hit with a bunch of exams and I had to leave the level alone to focus on studying. And I kid you not, I did not play the game at all for over 2 weeks. I was extremely worried that all of my practice has gone to waste, so I booted up a practice run to see how I would do, and to my absolute surprise, somehow I was even more consistent at the level than I was ever before. Geometry Dash and its weird oddities never change. So upon seeing how good I was at the level, I did the reasonable thing and just instantly started playing the level from 0%. Ah, how did I miss that? No! Just a bit too early. Damn! Hey, we made it though. We made it to the triple click of doom. That's really nice. Oh, dude, that was so close! Let's go, dude, we almost made it through. We almost got through the hardest part of the level. That's crazy. Let's go! Yes! Oh, dude, that actually felt good. That felt like such a good attempt. I finally made it to the second half of the wave, but my consistency did not slow down at all. No! No! Dude, that was so good! How did I fail that though? That was such an easy click! Man! No! Dude! I'm smashing it! What the hell? No! No! I was so close. That's literally the end. That's the end right here. Oh. And unfortunately, that was going to be my best attempt of the day. I played for some more time, but I just kept getting worse and worse, so I decided to return to the level the next day. No way! Oh my god, I died there. This day did not go so well, as my consistency wasn't as good. Whoa, what the hell did I get that for? Although I did get really good at the first half of the level, the mini-wave absolutely destroyed me, so unfortunately, no progress here. Oh my god, bro! Why can I not get through that part? And finally, on the third day, this happened. Let's go! Yes! Oh my god, yes! Dude, I almost died at that ship again. I cannot believe I survived it. Man, that is Crimson Clutter by RedUniverse. This is definitely my favorite 9 Circles level that I have beaten at least. It's really hard, but it's just fun, man. It's such a fun level to do. It's such a fun level to play. What I really like about this level which is something I guess a little unique to this level, is the pre-drop. And I don't really know how to explain it. It kind of feels like every time you die and you start the level again, it doesn't actually feel like you've died. It just feels like you're still continuing playing the level. If that makes any sense whatsoever. I don't know how to describe it, but it just feels like you're constantly playing the level without any breaks. And it just makes you so focused on the gameplay and on the level that it just makes it so much fun to play. There's always the one section in levels that is a bit slower, and usually in those parts I sort of phase out. I stop really focusing on the gameplay, and then when I get thrown into a harder part right after, I just die instantly, or I'm just not focused enough to actually perform well in the level. And with this level, every time I died and I did the pre-drop, it just didn't feel like that because I was constantly focused on the level. I don't know if it makes any sense whatsoever, but I really like it. It might be just something extremely unique to me personally, but like I just loved the pre-drop so much because of that. I'm so glad I did this level. I was always so scared of it because it just looked kind of scary with all of the tight gaps, the mirror portals, the ship part at the end. But man, it's such a good level. It really is. Definitely my favorite Ninth Circle level that I have beaten, and honestly, it will be really hard to top this. And so there it is, ladies and gentlemen, Crimson Clutter by RedUniverse. This level took me 3,830 attempts, and I shall place it as my fourth hardest level I've ever beaten. And with that, thank you so much for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!